Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. We have some good news today. Jay Clayton, the guy who's been holding the crypto ETF up, will actually step down as SEC chair by the year's end. So maybe we'll get a new SEC chair. There's been a couple of names floated around, some better than others, but generally I think Jay Clayton steps down presents an opportunity for the Bitcoin ETF to actually pass. So the chairman of this SEC commission is set to move on after 3.5 years in the role. Jay Clayton, who has served as the chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission since May 2017, will be leaving the agency by the end of 2021. In its official news release, the agency noted that Clayton has been one of the longest standing chairs. He's been serving for a very long time, 4 years now. Well, it's going to be 4 years, maybe 3.5 when he steps down. Crypto enthusiasts will likely be familiar with the agency's work, whose activities have engaged in some of the most controversial regulatory questions facing the new asset class. These include early debates as to whether or not certain crypto assets should be defined as securities in accordance with 71-year-old Howey test. As chairman, Clayton also warned Bitcoin investors last year that they would be sorely mistaken in expecting the cryptocurrency could be traded on mainstream exchanges without more robust regulation in place. During Clayton's tenure, the SEC reportedly obtained orders for over $14 billion in monetary remedies, a record $4.68 billion in the fiscal year 2020 alone. I think that includes all regulation, not just only cryptocurrencies. In return, approximately $3.5 billion to harmed investors. The commission also paid out roughly $565 million to whistleblowers, which included the largest single award sum paid out to a whistleblower date of $114 million. In this department statement, Clayton said, "The U.S. capital markets ecosystem is the strongest and most nimble in the world, and thanks to the hard work of the diverse and inclusive SEC team, we have improved investor relations protections, promoted capital information for small and larger businesses, and enabled our markets to function more transparently and efficiently." While today's news release does not give any hints to the chairman's next moves, the U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr recently announced Clayton's nomination to serve as next U.S. Attorney General for the Southern District of New York, but that's really not what we're concerned with. So what we're really concerned with is who's going to replace him. Obviously, another SEC commissioner like Hester Pierce would be optimal because I think Pierce would move the commission in a way to a point to actually approve a Bitcoin ETF. She actually wrote dissenting opinions last time, about 2 years ago, saying that a Bitcoin ETF should actually be passed. Why is the Bitcoin ETF important? I honestly don't really care about the ETF itself, but that would actually signal mainstream adoption, and that would induce a FOMO because people have been looking forward to this for so long. So Hester Pierce would be great. But one name that has been floated around is Gary Gensler. We talked about Gensler a couple of days ago, and he actually has I think he's also Trump's transition chief. But when the administration actually transitions over, well, no, Gary Gensler is actually, I forgot, he might be Biden's financial transition chief. But once the transition is actually over, Biden might tap him to actually be chairman of the SEC. Now that has pros and cons. He does think a couple of cryptos like XRP are securities. However, he has defended Bitcoin against the accusation of fraud before, thinking it's a new and great technology and it should actually be used. So he's like pro crypto, but he might be bad for some coins. And if he's the chairman of the SEC, then we might actually get a Bitcoin ETF, but it might be bad for coins that he actually thinks are securities. So it's kind of a mixed bag. Hester Pierce would definitely be the best choice, and I think that would signal a big crypto bull run, whereas Gary Gensler is more of a mixed bag. I think overall he would actually be better than Jay Clayton because he is pretty favorable to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin controls so much of the other coin price. But he wouldn't be good for certain cryptos like XRP, maybe Ethereum, because he said Ethereum is a security before, but I don't know if he would actually turn a prior SEC decision to label Ethereum as not a security. So it's kind of a mixed bag if Gary Gensler gets the post, but it's a really bullish bag if Hester Pierce gets the post. So that is the news for today. Let me know what you think, like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.